Welcome back to Good Morning Football, presented by Nike. It's time now to bring in another member of our family, Will Silva. He's in the newsroom out in Culver City. Will, good morning.
Good morning to you, MJ and guys. And we begin in Chicago, where KB was visiting just a day ago. The Bears taking care of a key part of their defense. NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport reporting that the team and linebacker Danny Trevathan have agreed to terms on a 3-year extension through 2022. Trevathan was set to become an unrestricted free agent. Now, in his first 4 seasons in Chi-Town, Trevathan played 46 games and started in 45. Racking up 6 sacks. He played 9 games and recorded 1 sack last season. But a left elbow injury forced him to miss nearly half the campaign. While Trevathan is staying, veteran defensive end Cameron Wake is leaving. The Titans cutting Wake, creating $5.6 million in cap space. He joined the Titans just a year ago, but mustered only 2.5 sacks and 9 games before ending up on injured reserve. Now, the Titans weren't done there. They also released running back Dion Lewis. Lewis racking up just 373 yards of total offense in 2019, but of course, Derrick Henry had something to do with that. Lewis joining Tennessee after playing previously with the Eagles, Browns, Colts, and of course the Patriots. And like Lewis, linebacker Vontaze Burfict is looking for work. He's been looking for quite some time. Burfict says he wants to change. Burfict was suspended for the final 12 games of last season for a hit on Colts linebacker Jack Doyle. Now, Burfict telling our very own Tom Pelissero, quote, "I think about how the world sees me. That bothers me. It bothers me a lot." Now, Burfict says he has stayed in contact with many Raiders teammates and believes the door is open to return there. So Vontaze Burfict trying to set the record straight there as he is trying to land some employment there in the NFL.
New year, turning a new page. I get it. He's trying to make that profile.
27 times the charm. Go get him.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, thank you, Will, so much.
Yep.
It's time a little bit for, whether you believe that or not, for some believe it or not. And we have a few scenarios here that we want to get in on, get you guys' takes. Our own Charles Davis put out his first mock draft yesterday, and take a look at this top 5.
Yes,
Burrow,
he went for it.
Jordan Love, all off the board in the first 5 picks. Time out already.
The Redskins, and then Jordan Love.
Look at that.
Dolphins.
Yes, not Herbert.
So already we got the exclamation points and the question marks. But believe it or not, there could be 3 quarterbacks taken in the top 5 of the 2020 NFL draft.
Peter, I know you were just tear apart Charles Davis. What do you got?
The thing is, I love Charles. I love Charles.
Who doesn't?
I've worked with him on Fox, and
the best person in the world.
Here in the NFL Network. I love this mock draft.
Yeah, me too.
I love it. Roll the dice. It's before free agency. It's also just think about it. Just think of some different opportunities. Now, look, Justin Herbert's been on everyone's radar for several years. Have you been able to watch him? Here he comes and he says, you know what? I'm going to go with Love instead of Herbert, 5, which would mean that Love impressed everybody in his workouts at the Combine and blew the Dolphins away in their meetings. I also think 2 to the Redskins is a scintillating thing to do because I've heard a lot of people whisper about it. No one put it on a mock draft yet. 3 quarterbacks in the top 5? I'm going to say no. And I see Herbert going before Love, but I love, no pun intended, Charles Davis's mock draft to throw some other things out there to say, hey, this could be possible as well.
CD. It's my favorite CD in the draft, Charles Davis.
Better than Lance.
Absolutely. Here's the thing. I love the mock draft because I know people at home, I bet Charles is getting crushed for this. I bet people on Twitter, what are you, crazy? It would never happen. I looked at Daniel Jeremiah's mock and it didn't happen. At this point in the spring, guys, go back a couple years. Right now, Baker Mayfield was like a late first-round pick.
Patriots, 23.
Exactly. Or Ravens, all the way. Who's the #1 overall pick in the draft? Things should be crazy. Things are going to be crazy. I don't like the ones that I see that are just, you've been following, and it's just this chalk, and you got this guy. Things get absolutely nuts. And yes, Charles Davis knows more than most people on the planet. If he thinks Love is getting that sort of fast rising thing, absolutely, I would never doubt it in a second. Sure, yes, it could happen. I will stick to this before the draft. Never underestimate the thirst for quarterbacks. I love it. Charles, I wish you would have put him 1, 2, 3 in the order. Now you will next week.
Not only do I have the utmost respect for Charles Davis, but I agree with him 100%.
I love it.
You said there is a thirst. Listen, I'm not trying to make light of what's going on around the world right now. I'm just simply stating what I see. I'm just simply stating what I see. When I go to the grocery store trying to figure out what we're doing for the week, what's flying off the shelves is toilet paper. People are sitting at home and they're thinking to themselves, okay, if my kids are going to be out of school, if I'm going to be out of work for the next few weeks, what don't we have in the house? We need more toilet paper. So then they go to the grocery store and it's literally flying off the shelves. That's what is going to happen on draft day. Teams are going to sit back and they're going to assess their house. They're going to assess their team. They'll say to ourselves, okay, wait a minute. What don't we have? We don't have a franchise quarterback. We might have a guy that is a bridge quarterback. We might have an older quarterback that we're paying too much. We don't have the future.
I think
let's stack up for the future.
It's like toilet paper. It's not necessarily what they need, but everyone else is getting it, and it seems to be the thing we should get. There may be more important pieces, though. It might be an irresponsible choice. Maybe you should get a defensive back. You know what I'm saying?
But you still can't stop
frozen fruit
at the grocery store grabbing that toilet paper.
Everybody's grabbing it.
Whether it's a wrong decision or not, people will panic on draft day, and they may go out there and make a risky move and get something that they don't necessarily need. It's all about what they feel they want, not what they need.
That might have been Nate's best analogy
to date.
You think that goes on the reel?
That was unbelievable, Nate.
It just makes sense. You know what happens on draft day? We've seen it.
I also know what happens at the grocery store. I tried yesterday.
Nate, it was a very charming analogy that you made. Very, very well done.
Thank you.
The reason I like the reason I like this mock draft, not just the order in which the QBs are there.
Charming.
Charming.
Don't worry about the
It's a two-layer joke. You could say it's to ply.
I'm going to be here all day on
As
TV.
host, you have to sell the joke for Kyle. Go, good call.
Most of the time, Nate makes toilet paper references. He's being Cornholio from Beavis and Butthead.
Sip my water on that one.
Take a sip. Go on. I said thirsty for quarterbacks. Who isn't? We're making TV, baby.
Trying, folks.
Yeah.
Don't forget that there are teams further down in that first round who could also move up to grab some QBs.
Right.
So with that thirst, that parch, everybody's parched a little bit. Once things start rolling on draft day, there are teams that could bump up to make that first 3 QBs in the first top 5 a reality. So not just even in Charles's mock draft here, but there could be other scenarios where that's very, very feasible. And at the end of the day, we have our mock drafts, we have our sources, we have the whispers that we hear, but we're like Jon Snow. We know nothing until it actually happens.
So Kit Harington.
At the end of the day, this could, and I don't think it's not far-fetched. I really don't.
A lot of people are heading north of the wall right now. That's what we hear. So you're right about that. Ahead of John.
All right. Well, Drew Brees announced last week that he was Who Dat Nation for life. And now, according to our own Ian Rappaport, he's not expected to push for top dollar on his next contract, which may allow the Saints to sign an additional free agent. So believe it or not, Drew Brees is more likely to win the Super Bowl in New Orleans than Tom Brady is wherever he ends up playing. Are you in on this?
You're going to say no?
No.
Hard pass.
And I don't want the Saints to sit here and say, oh, it's Nate being a hater again. No. Listen, over the last few years, when you look at what happened and the way that their seasons have ended, they've had talent on top of talent on top of talent, and still, they didn't reach the Super Bowl. If you look at Tom Brady, on the other hand, over the last few years, what do we have? 1 Super Bowl ring, 2 Super Bowl appearances. So wherever Tom goes, he seems to be a winner. And I feel like he's going to return back to the Patriots where they will find themselves in the AFC Championship game once again.
And you know, sometimes you see a team in the playoffs and you say, they're 1 player away. They're 1 pass rusher away. I don't see that with the Saints. The Saints have incredible players. They have for years. They got an incredible coach. They got everything. And yet, if I was really to bend over backwards, what might make a difference for them, it's somebody on the other side of Michael Thomas. Just somebody. We've talked for years on this show, more than any program in the history of television, about Ted Ginn and how fast he is and how good he is. I just think they're missing that guy. Tell me it wouldn't absolutely sink your battleship if the New Orleans Saints signed A.J. Green in free agency.
Or Amari Cooper.
Then we start making the Voltron reference, or Amari. Now, I don't know if they could pay him and Michael Thomas, but they're always looking for that big time. We're the Alvin Harper on the other side. I don't think they have him. If they got that guy, then how do you not get to the Super Bowl? Because we've been here for years now. They've had both rookies of the year. They've had a Hall of Fame quarterback, Kamara, Ingram. And they're still not there. The wide receiver is the only thing that would blow my mind. Until then, it's Brady.
The answer is neither. Mahomes is going to win the next 17 Super Bowls. So
in a row? All 17?
This is all semantics. This is all rhetoric.
It's incredible.
Between the two, I think Brees, with the continuity of what he has, and they're bringing back all those guys again, and they've got it all. I would say Brees over Brady, either with whatever shell of a Patriots roster they have.
Brees over Brady? They haven't even reached the Super Bowl in the last 3 years, Schrags.
I would think.
But as talented as they are.
I would think if Brees is clocking wrecking one more time, I would take the odds on Brees over Brady. Brady in a new place or Brady with whatever the Patriots are bringing out next year. That's just me, Nate.
That's a crazy take. Do you know what happened the last few years for the Patriots?
Yeah, they scored 14 points in a playoff game, and they couldn't move the ball on the Titans, and they had no weapons. There was an unhappy.
What about the 2 previous years, Trace?
Hey, if Brady goes back to the Patriots, we could start having this conversation legitimately.
And Gronkowski.
That's basically what it is.
We all know that Mahomes is going to get knocked off by Jordan Love, who's going to get drafted number 5 overall. So he's not going to win 17 in a row. We love Love here. Better question. What's the best landing spot for Philip Rivers?